Welcome to the Supernatural Occurrence Studies podcast.
Very paranormal it is.
All the time, man.
My name is Jason Knight, host of the show, and with me today, as always, is Mr. Oscar Spector, producer extraordinaire.
I don't know how extraordinary I feel right now.
Why
Hello.
not?
I'm kidding. Hello.
Always the Debbie Downer. I am also joined... He is. Well, I'm also joined by my two co-founders, Mr. Joe Erie and Dave Black.
So damn paranormal.
There you go. Thank you.
No one...
I mean, it's kind of paranormal. Sometimes, a lot of times it's, other stuff.
It is other stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Conspiracies, aliens,
Have we talked...
internet theory conspiracies.
Internet theory conspiracy.
Yeah,
Talk about the last one we did before the trip, right?
Yeah, the QAnon.
Quanon. That's what we call it.
Quinine?
Quinine?
That's what I call it.
So, listeners, the Haunted Ohio adventure rolls on.
Yes, it does.
We're sitting outside.
Like, really, when you say Ohio and follow it by adventure, it sounds kind of like an oxymoron.
Does it?
Yeah,
Why?
I mean,
Yeah.
just you don't think of adventure.
Exactly.
You think of
That's
Ohio.
exactly right. We're sitting literally outside
You know
on an
what?
island.
You know what my dad...
We're literally on an island.
Wait, literally?
By the water.
You know how you can tell a dog is from Ohio, right? This
How
is
could you tell?
A joke my dad used to tell. You lift up its tail, there'll be a little O under there.
I've always loved your dad.
Well, that makes one of you.
I do. I always liked your dad. We email back and forth and make fun of you all the time.
There's a murder that happened too. Like it was like not the Black Dahlia, but like it's the torso murder.
The Blalia?
Ohio.
Through Ohio. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to cover that fully in an episode in the future because that's a fascinating case.
That's cool.
Matter of fact, we talked about it briefly right when we
Yeah,
first
long time ago,
started this
long time
podcast. But yeah, that's definitely a case I would like to cover. But came through Ohio. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave, I think hit the nail on the head. We took this Ohio trip because people don't realize all the cool shit there is to do right here in Ohio.
Who suggested
Who
Ohio?
thought?
Is Dave from Ohio?
I know.
Who suggested
It was your idea. I'm sorry.
But Jay, is Dave from Ohio?
Damn it, you got that on tape. No.
Because he does have
By the way-
a hole, an O on his backside also.
He does. Oscar,
That's
yes.
very
One
thick.
good idea.
Oh, did we introduce Lexi Raven?
No, we didn't.
Lexi's also here on this trip.
She's not really mic'd up because we have a full mic roster here, but say
Yeah.
hello again.
Hi. Hi.
Cool. I wanted you to say again, hi, but never mind. It's gone.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know.
Right. There's just so much cool stuff to do right here in the Midwest. I'm really glad you decided to take us here.
You know what the most exciting thing is?
What?
Chili Mac.
Oh, the what is it?
With Skyline Chili.
Skyline Chili. That's it.
Skyline.
We're not-
Listen, I'll tell you a story. I tried it and it was disgusting. Sorry, Ohioans, our Ohio listeners. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's...
Whenever I go anywhere, I don't like
never
the
had
food.
it because just the pictures...
Chicago is the best food.
It does.
It's like when you look
Hands
at
down.
when you look at an advertisement on the window at a Hardee's and like the bun on the hamburger square, and you're like, "Fuck that!
That never happens.
I'm not going to eat a square hamburger bun. What do you think I'm a
Up to your mouth.
fuck?"
Up to you. Up to
What about
your...
What are
bagels?
you-
Dave, are bagels from Ohio? They got that hole.
Bagels? No, they're not. They're actually from Oregon.
Oh,
Wow.
all right. We're getting off the
All
rails
right.
again. So yeah, we're sitting out here. We're about
Does
to.
Oscar still do the off the rails thing?
I want
still
to.
a thing?
I would like
Yeah, we
to.
kind of let that drift away, didn't we, Oscar?
Well, it's on you.
We got to start that again.
I want to go find some ghosts, guys.
Oscar's off the rails. I mean, once we had the website change, the name change, new iTunes feed, we have new listeners who probably haven't heard that stuff before.
No, they have not.
So we got to get you back in it.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, cool.
Doesn't
but not
Oscar
right now.
have a new segment called Boner Patrol?
Thanks, Oscar, edit that out.
No. What? Come on.
Oh, and he
All
likes
right.
it.
So,
See?
isn't it beautiful out here,
I
though,
think he
guys? What podcast gets to go out and record on an island at the
it
edge of
looks
the water?
really familiar here, though.
I'm sure there's
It does. Kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Lake Michigan a little bit.
A little
I'm sure
bit.
there's
Lake Erie, of course, we're on.
I'm sure there's plenty of podcasts like in Hawaii and stuff.
You just can't fucking let anything just...
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know what? We got a real original hook that we get out of the studio
we're
and
not
take
the only
people...
podcast on an island, is what I'm saying.
Hey, technically, every piece of land is an island, isn't it?
Yeah, there
I
you
mean,
go.
technically, the continent is just a big island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great big island.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Is-
Why
is
are we
the
recording
Earth
this
an island?
episode?
What are you doing?
In the
We are...
space?
What?
Yes.
Right? It was
I don't
Earth
know.
Be an island. And
I like the
because of space would be like the.
Is that
See?
I think that was that Steely Dan lyrics. What was that? Earth is an island in
Steely
space.
Dan?
What I really
I don't
enjoy
know.
about
All right, we're
I'm
talking
confused
over
right
each
now.
other. We're
What I really
talking over
enjoy
each-
about what we do is that we come up with these like ideas. We're like, okay, we're going to do this thing, and we're all like, yeah, sure, okay, we'll do that. And everyone's like, okay, well, let's get our shit together and like make sure that we have places to go and places to stay. And we're like, oh yeah, we'll totally do that. And then, like 3 days before, we're like, where are we going to sleep? What's going to happen? Did anyone call anyone? Are we talking to that? Did anyone talk to that guy? Like, we're going there for this thing. Did anyone talk to the place?
Yeah,
No?
speaking of that,
Okay.
so the Park Hotel, which we're going to
We
in
are.
a few minutes, hopefully.
Right.
Dave, do they have bathrooms?
No. No, not in the rooms.
What did he say? You remember? He said, "Oh, you got to go outside to go use the bathroom."
No,
Yeah, I mean,
outside,
outside your room, that's
down the
bad
hall.
enough.
It's like a
Whoa, you
dorm.
guys are blowing out my mics.
I mean,
Yeah, we
is
kinda-
there bathroom pans? Or
We kind of talked about this on the Ohio intro episode, dude. This is giving me anxiety.
It's just this is the thing is, so basically, if you need to use the bathroom, you ring a bell and everyone comes. And
whoa,
watch you poop.
that you come that fast?
No,
They watch
that's
you poop.
horrible. Oh, what kind of service does this place
No,
have?
the bathroom stalls, they all have clear glass doors, and they're one way, so you can't see out.
Oh.
But people can watch you.
That
inside.
you need to go to a brain doctor. This
Wait, so is
that's
this like a
horrible.
weird fetish? You ring a bell and you come?
A Proctor?
No, it's
All right, here we go.
No, this is just. I don't know if you guys like this. Is just what they do in Ohio. It's an Ohio thing.
We're literally going to be asked to not come back to Ohio.
You know, and you know what? Like, all right.
That's not nice.
I want to go to that one castle thing.
Which
The
castle?
one that you guys talked about with that Bill
with
Krejcik.
Bill Krejcik?
Yeah.
Franklin Castle.
Yes.
Franklin Castle. Yeah.
So I don't want to get
That
banned
where your
from
mom
Ohio.
got the photos,
quite
right?
yet.
What's that?
Where your mom got the photos?
That was
that was
Squire's
the
Castle.
Squire's Castle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as Joe mentioned, we are.
Squire's Castle, is that like a restaurant for children? It sounds like a restaurant. that you
No,
go to.
no, it's
Kinda like
a
medieval
historic
times.
place.
Yeah.
Kind of like medieval times. Yeah, it's a medieval.
Baby
It's
chicken.
It's a
with-
castle.
Beer.
with like puppets.
It's a castle, and there's ghosts that live there. My mom caught them on film back in the day.
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
10 years ago, 12 years ago.
That's not really back in the day.
So we'll try to make it a.
I
trim.
think of back in the day,
Possibly.
like early '90s.
Yeah. So as Joe Erie was saying, we are about to check into the Park Hotel, where we're going to be staying here on PutInBay. Park Hotel, guys, it's supposed to be one of the most haunted hotels on the island, or in the Ohio Islands. It's from the
That's word on the
1870s. It's about a
1873.
yeah. The year is kind of fluctuates with different stories you read. Supposedly somewhere around 146 years old.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty much in the same condition visually that it was back in
And
the
that's
19th
why
century.
the bathrooms are the way they are. They never installed bathrooms in the rooms because back in the day they didn't. That's not how it worked. They weren't a bunch of spoiled assholes that all needed their own special bathroom.
That must suck to live back then.
Guilty. Color me red. I'm
I mean,
guilty.
Shit, to have a bathroom indoors 146 years ago was like a huge marvel.
Wow.
Like, because you'd have to go poop in a box out and back.
You know, I think what's a marvel is good enough. You know, I have to add the huge.
Yeah, all the scatological references.
I mean, poop in a box.
I mean, in the summer it's not that bad, I
It's my
guess.
poop
But
in
the
a
winter
box.
must suck.
that would really suck.
Well, have you ever
Frozen
had to
ass.
use
So
have you ever had to use a porta potty in the summertime? It's awful.
I mean,
Yes,
yeah, but
I
have you
have.
ever used a porta potty in the winter?
Probably more pleasant than it is in the summertime.
I don't know. I wouldn't like either or.
Yeah, me neither. As I was going to say, we rented 3 rooms in the hotel. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Correct.
Supposedly the
Yes,
most
the
haunted
three-
too.
3 most haunted rooms.
Well, not most haunted, but there. So because it's the summertime.
You said the guy.
Okay,
oh
here.
my
Wait,
God.
because it's the summertime, almost all the rooms are rented.
So, we got the least haunted rooms.
No, so I asked him to put us...
Could we get the medium haunted rooms,
I asked
please?
him to put us in whatever haunted rooms were available, so I'm not
So there was 3 rooms. He's like, oh, yeah, these are the most haunted rooms.
I'm not
1, 2, and 3, yes.
Funny, sir. They're the only rooms that are left.
No, he said that he is putting us in haunted rooms, but I don't know what room numbers they are or what the stories are. Or anything like that.
Well, you also have an interview lined up with the guy, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Do you remember his name? I don't. You told me in the car.
Phil, was it?
It sounds right.
Phil, I think.
Well, we'll go in there and try to ask for Phil. Maybe someone will come out.
Let's hope we don't fuck that up.
Yeah, right? Phil died. Oh, sorry.
Wait, he dead? Oh.
No.
Hi, is Phil here? You asshole.
You're such a jerk. He was just killed here last night. What?
You know what's funny is
What?
I was at one of the restaurants that I sell to one time, and they had a calendar on the wall. I was talking to the chef, and I just took out my Sharpie marker and I just wrote arbitrarily on the calendar, Chad's birthday. Just because, there's nobody there named Chad. Isn't that funny? Because everyone would be like, hey, who's Chad?
I love that.
And she's like, actually, a guy named Chad used to work for me. He died.
That's not fun.
I don't think it was his birthday that I wrote in on the calendar, but it was, it was just
How fucked up would it be if it was his birthday on that day?
sad.
The world knows. All right, what do you guys
On
say
that
we...
note, let's go
Should we go
hunt some
check
ghosts.
in? Let's go hunt some ghosts. Joe, take us to the hotel. This episode of the Supernatural Occurrence Studies podcast is brought to you by Gamefly.com. Right now, for our lovely listeners, Gamefly is offering a premium, free 30-day one-game trial. That's one free game trial shipped directly to you, with a pre-addressed envelope included for super easy returns. No contracts and cancel at any time. Go to www.gameflyoffer.com/ghost. That's gameflyoffer.com/ghost. Choose from over 8,000 new and classic games for almost any console imaginable. Remember, that's www.gameflyoffer.com/ghost. Start your free trial now.
All right, we are here at the Park Hotel on PutInBay, the north side of the island. I'm here with Phil. Phil is the manager, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
So when was this hotel built?
1873.
Wow. And it has remained pretty much unchanged since?
The only structural changes are an addition on the back for the manager's apartment,
Okay.
and a laundry room on the other side of the hotel. As far as in the hotel, the changes are the bathrooms on each floor. The second floor, the bathrooms, the men's room was room 6, is now the men's room. So structurally, it's still the same room. And then the ladies' room used to be a hallway that went out the back of the hotel to a 2-story outhouse.
Okay.
And linen closet. So that's
2-story outhouse sounds very fancy.
Yeah, very interesting too. Third floor, the bathrooms structurally haven't changed at all. They were the original bathrooms, meaning a bath is where you went to take a bath.
Okay.
So they both had a entrance room that was a dressing and undressing room, and then a second room that was the bathroom itself, where the bathtubs were.
Cool.
So, yeah. Other than that, it's all pretty much original.
Nice.
So, 31717 is what I come up with.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we have rooms 14, 4, and 13.
correct.
Is any of these rooms haunted?
The 2 rooms that you have that are the most active are 13 and 4. This is actually the room.
Let's say 13.
13 is the queen bed?
Yes, and it is it's 1 queen. Yep. So this is the room that his parents always stay in. Is 13. And 13, the biggest complaint I get out of that is people think there's a cat in the room because while they're sleeping, they feel a cat like jump from the dresser to the bed or something like that, or jump up from the floor. And then a lot of times in the morning, anything they leave on the dresser or the nightstand is on the floor.
That sounds like a ghost cat.
Yeah, yeah. Room 4, this room, the complaints we get out of it are kids playing in the hallway in front of it or in the room next to it. And the room next to it currently is used as a linen hall. When the hotel was originally built, it had 2 entrances to the upstairs. This would have been the hallway to the second entrance. And in that entrance area, there was a room for a night desk person and then an office for the front desk person because the front desk was up there. And that's probably where the owner's kids would have been.
Okay.
So a previous paranormal group actually recorded a little girl's voice in the hallway during one of their investigations, asking if you wanted to come in, do you want to come in and play? So it's kind of a kind of cool. So yeah. So as for 14 is a large room. It's the only room in the hotel that has 2 beds in it anymore. And I don't ever really get anything out of there from guests because there's usually 4 people in it.
Okay.
And you wouldn't know if it was the guy rolling over in the other bed or an activity going on. So, yeah. So, probably the busiest part is 4 in the hallway that 4 is on.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we will get our stuff, and we'll come back and talk to you some more.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
I'm here till midnight.
Awesome. Jay, where you at?
I was waiting for you guys.
It locks automatically.
Okay.
So now we're 1.
Let's dump all our stuff in here, and we'll go look at the other rooms and see who's staying where.
Okay. So this is the non-haunted.
Okay. Opening up room 13. It's a very small room. Ooh, feels really weird in here.
Yeah.
Very heavy in this room. Oh man. It's in my brain.
Yeah.
This is a weird feeling. Like my right arm is going numb and stuff. Joe? Where's Joe?
Doing something.
This room.
Where's the bathroom?
It's right down the hall.
Remember?
This room is crazy.
It's like I almost want to pass out.
Yeah. It feels like really heavy in here.
We should be recording this. How we're trying to figure out the room.
I am.
Oh, sorry.
Joe, feel this room.
Dude, I'm feeling it in my chest.
Yeah, I'm like, my head.
The whole thing is as soon as I walked in, I could like literally fucking see it.
So
like
what
it's
this
like
is?
a
Oh,
haze.
this is room 13.
I'm feeling it
This
in
is
my
room
legs,
13.
And what happens
chest,
in
my
13?
back.
This is is this the cat room? This is the cat room, right?
Cat
There's like a ghost cat that knocks things off the counter and like
It's electric.
boogie woogie woogie woogie.
Whoa. No, cause this is like the first I'm actually feeling. Look at right here, right by the window.
Oh yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like heat.
Yeah,
right here.
dude. I'm breathing it in. I'm not breathe heavy. You can actually breathe in the electricity, like the static electricity.
Yeah. Oh shit. It looks like the mirror's trying to say something.
Well, another thing is with reflection glass.
Oh.
It's crystal, like that amplifies.
Hello. Hi. It just gave me a hug.
Oh, dude, this room is definitely...
Yeah, I think one of us has to stay in this room. All right, let's go take a look at room 4. Okay, room 4 is the hallway where the little girl's voice was heard. Where is 4? Oh man, this hallway. I'm not. The hallway is like just
It gets heavier.
super heavy. Yeah, it's really heavy, Doc.
Oh yeah, like I feel the challenge.
Yeah, this room's got like almost like a hospital sort of feel. Let's cool it off in here.
Whoa,
What happened?
I felt someone like
You just saw somebody grab your hand, your
grab
arm?
my arm.
Whoa.
Like I feel it in my leg, like just rush of energy. Just I'm like thickening.
Oh yeah, it's right near you.
Yeah.
It's on her right now.
Like it just grabbed my arm.
This whole room feels like it's tipping over.
It's like right where I'm standing.
Very well could be tipping over. I mean, this place feels like it's about to fall down.
Like
I'll
my
say
leg
that, though.
is
It does feel like
getting
it's slanted
numb.
here.
Yeah, this is.
Stand like right here.
That's the only thing about it.
These rooms are very
Dude.
tiny.
Right in here. Look
Yeah.
at it's actually cool.
Well, I just turned the air conditioner
No,
on.
there's nothing coming out here.
No, this is a different than the AC.
You feel the cold?
That's
like-
what I felt when my arm was grabbed. It was cold and like on the
It's kind of like gone.
Yeah, I feel it.
All right. So let's figure out who's staying where. I mean, me and Joe should stay in the haunted rooms, right? I want to stay in 13. 13 is like the craziest. You want to stay in this one, Joe?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't feel so much in here.
But that's where this hallway is where the little girls.
The strongest one is definitely by far 13.
13.
Yeah.
100%. So far.
Oh man. Take a step into this.
That's why I walked over in there.
But
It's more towards like the window, but it's like then it goes to.
yeah,
This is check
Yeah,
this out.
like the
This
joints
is
of
this
them.
is where I.
Like, my legs are feeling like noodles right now. To describe.
all right, Jay. Here's the keys for. That's the keys for 14. So that's for you guys. Here's your key for. Hold on, wait. Let me. What are these bathrooms like? This bathroom used to be. These bathrooms used to be rooms. Communal showers. It's kind of creepy.
Check them out.
Nope. What?
Hey,
Nope,
really
not going back.
Let's start down here.
Hold on. I think we got to go up.
I walked over towards the end, and I felt someone like right behind the bottom. They're really trying to push me out of it.
Okay, going up the stairs right now.
Yeah, I've got stuff around the whole stairs. But over here.
Oh man, so outside of 16, 17, 18 is like, whoa, that is pretty heavy. There's a picture of a cat in the hallway.
It's like I did it in the ghost.
Oh man, I got this like heavy chest feeling.
Right when I got here, it was like boom, and it went.
Burning in my chest.
Yeah. It's like you hit too much. Dude, right here, man, I'm getting dizzy.
Yeah. Right over here is really heavy.
I want to show you the heavy spot where I got it.
Oh, right here on the landing, on like on the.
Dizzy, right? It's got dizzy feel.
Yeah, it's really. Whoa. It's really unusual. It doesn't feel like.
It's almost like your brain's spotty, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it feels in other places.
It's like
That's an actual baby crying.
It feels like white noise, like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, check-in runs till midnight, so it's
I don't know why, but in that area, like when I came in, I was like, "Fuck."
Back by the.
I'm not like feeling it so much. I don't know.
I'm not cool with that.
But when I came in, yeah, it's like a sad feel.
That's the. I think this is the addition here. All right. All right, we're checking things out, having various reactions.
You know, I got a question. Is that a little girl? Or is that just her picture?
No, that actually is a great niece to Queen Mary or someone like that. It's a portrait that she had done, and then of course it's a print of it.
Okay.
But the funny story about that print is it used to be in room 17, and if you Google the Park Hotel, room 17 has all the ghost stories, and the ghost stories are people would wake up and there'd be somebody standing between the beds.
Oh wow.
Room 17 used to have 2 double beds in it. Well, I would have housekeeping come down in the morning, and they, after cleaning, and they'd say, they stole the picture out of room 17, and I'd say, no, look under the bed or look in the closet or something. And they'd go back up. Sure enough, that's where it would be. So we kind of believe that since we've redone the room, we made it a king size room, and we took the picture out, we have never had a complaint of somebody in the room again. So we kind of believe that.
And it's that picture?
It's that picture.
Yeah, because as soon as I walked in, I mean, right away, I'm like, whoa.
This is.
And right there, it's like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's the dark.
Yeah.
It's like a more
So
sad.
we assumed that they were seeing a reflection of the picture in the window. But then someone else from a paranormal group said, or somebody really likes the picture and they sit in there at night and look at it. So, you know.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't see anything. I feel like I felt it right over there, and just right by that picture, and it's just more of a sad, like feel.
The reason that most people don't like the picture is if you walk around it, its eyes follow you, whoever it is. Yeah. If you were in the room, it was on the wall, and you'd be 8 feet away from it, and you'd walk, and you just, she was always following you, always. So that was a reason to guess to take it down. But yeah.
Where is Jay at?
I know there's a few things too. Like I'm almost getting like stuff from stuff.
Hey Jay, should we sit down with Phil for a while and like do an official interview or? Oh, this is the other guys over here.
Yeah, but it's telling one of the stories. Yeah, definitely. I mean, might as well get it. Look at these old pictures.
Oh wow. Yeah, we gotta get some pictures of all this stuff. Yeah.
I was like right away when I came into it, I got someone with a clock, and he was explaining it.
Oh, okay. Phil, can we sit down with you for a few minutes and
Sure,
do an
absolutely.
official?
Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Today's episode of the Supernatural Occurrence Studies podcast is brought to you by Grasshopper.com. Sound more professional and stay connected with Grasshopper.com. Grasshopper.com, the virtual phone system designed for entrepreneurs. Grasshopper works just like a traditional phone system, but requires absolutely no hardware to purchase or software to install. It's all managed conveniently online or by your phone. Callers can reach you wherever you are, at home, on your cell, or in the office. Get a toll-free number, multiple extensions, custom call forwarding, send and receive text messages, and more. Listeners of the show save $50 on your order when you visit www.trygrasshopper.com/ghost. That's trygrasshopper.com/ghost. Plans start at only $12 a month and come with a whopping 30-day money-back guarantee. Remember, that's trygrasshopper.com/ghost. Get connected now.
Okay, so we're here at the Park Hotel on PutInBay with the manager, Phil. Phil, how long have you been here at the hotel?
As a manager, this is my 7th year.
Okay, and how long have you been involved with the hotel, visiting the hotel, know of the hotel?
As a child, my childhood friend, who is the current owner, his family owned it, and they lived in the hotel. So I spent a lot of time in the hotel as a kid, right up until around 1990 when I left the island, and I came back to the island 7 or 8 years ago. The first year I worked as maintenance for the hotel, and then when the previous manager retired, I took her position.
Gotcha. When you were a child, did you have any experiences here of the paranormal nature?
Oddly enough, yes, and it didn't actually click until I moved back in as an adult. As a child, we would play in the living room, and the door from the living room to the lobby would periodically open up. Wow. And we never really thought much about it. As a kid, we walked over and closed it. It wasn't until after I moved into the hotel, and during the winter months, I would find the door standing open, and I would think that was odd. And then Michael's sister, Melinda, had asked me one day, hey, does the living room door still open up? And it kind of clicked, you know. Yeah, now that you mention it, I remember that as a kid, too.
So and as a maintenance guy, I'm guessing you took into consideration of, like, warped wood or, like, you know, leaning building and all that kind of stuff.
Have you been in and out of your room?
We've only been in there once.
And how hard is it to open up your door with that lock on it?
Not very hard. I mean, at least it's
not a door that's just going to pop open.
Right? Yeah, you definitely have to.
So that's the same lock that my living room door has on.
So it was a locked door that opened up.
It was a locked door. Okay.
So I mean, because if it was just a door that was shut, you can maybe the thing didn't click all the way or whatever. But that's
even with the lock disabled, the door latch still latches, and then I also have a sound barrier on the bottom of it, so that the door, wherever you stop it, it stays, because it's a felt pad that's rubbing the floor the entire time. So
gotcha.
It's not like a door that would just roll open, but no, it stays locked, and with the deadbolt locked.
Wow.
Periodically, I would find it opened.
Have you ever seen anything?
So, as an adult, my first experience in the hotel was there. I was doing maintenance. In mid-September, the hotel closes down during the week, lack of help, and lack of business. And usually that first week in September, everybody goes on a road trip. All of the employees do. So I was cleaning AC units in the hotel, and I was in room 21. And I had already pulled the AC unit out and cleaned it, and it was sitting on my lap, and I was getting ready to slide it back into the wall, and I heard a male voice ask me if I was about done. And I said, I'll be in a minute. I just got to put it in and plug it in and make sure it works. And so I slid it in, put the cover on, plugged it in, turned it on. It worked, turned it off. I got up, turned around, and nobody was standing there. So I walked out the door and yelled down the steps, "Hey, Mike, what did you need?" Assuming it was the hotel owner that was in asking me if I was about done. I didn't get a response from anybody, so I finished the last couple of rooms I needed to do. And then I went back to the office and asked Mike what he needed, and he persisted in telling me that he had not been in the hotel yet that day.
Wow.
So that's the first experience.
Have you ever been touched?
No. Later on that year, I moved into the hotel as a hotel resident in January, and the first things I've started noticing was hearing noises, people walking around upstairs, or conversations going on upstairs. When a hotel closes at the end of the year, it's locked from the inside. To get into the hotel, you have to come through my apartment. So nobody gets in or out of the hotel without my knowing it, so I know there's nobody here. We also build a wall at the base of the steps. We keep the lobby heated, but everything upstairs goes cold in the winter. And in the winter, sitting in my living room, which is right by the steps, I would hear people walk down the steps and walk right out the front door.
That's cool.
Right through the wall.
I had an experience like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So the door, getting back to the door, periodically I'd get woke up in the middle of the night, and I would walk out, and stepping from the hallway into my dining room, as soon as I would cross the threshold into the dining room, I'd smell like a fresh pipe tobacco. Not smoke, just fresh tobacco. And then you step into the kitchen and the smell would go away. It was only in the dining room. And I'd walk out and the door would be open.
Well,
and I'd just walk over and close it.
Did other people have that same...
the tobacco smell? Yeah. My daughter is the only other person that's lived here with me. And yeah, she has periodically smelled it as well. She's also experienced the door being open. Her experience there, when she moved in, she brought a cat. And her cat would get locked in closets where the door has to close into the closet, so it's not like the cat accidentally closed the door. The cat was locked out on our back porch once. Again, the door closes in, so not really the cat going out and closing the door on itself. She actually was on a ghost tour in San Francisco, and halfway through the tour they stopped it and told her that if she didn't stop laughing at everything they said, they would ask her to leave the group because she didn't believe in any of it. And she came to work for me maybe 5 years ago, and she moved into the hotel April 1st. April 2nd, we started working upstairs, redoing rooms, pulling wallpaper, putting new wallpaper up, painting. So we'd pull all the furniture out of the rooms and stack it in the hallways. And at night, everybody would go home, and she and I'd come down to the apartment. And we'd sit in the living room, and after a couple of nights, I finally looked at her and I said, "So just out of curiosity, do you hear everything going on upstairs?" And she's like, "Oh my God, yes. What the hell is that?" And I'm like, "You and I are the only two in the hotel right now. What do you think it is?" And she's like, "There are people up there." It's like they are walking around. They are not happy. They're slamming doors. And it's like everything in the hallways, it didn't make it very convenient, so they were a little disgruntled at night. So she's definitely a believer now.
Wow. Do you know if anybody that has ever died in here?
Yes. There are 3 documented deaths in the hotel. The original builder and owner of the hotel, Mr. Smith. Okay. The original article of the hotel opening, which is in the little folder over here, talks about how it's Mr. Smith, his wife, and 3 children.
Was that the 3 children that would be in front of room 9?
We don't know.
Okay.
4.
So
4, okay.
4, yeah. So Mr. Smith, the wife, and the 3 children, they built the Park Hotel and the Roundhouse at the same time. Mr. Smith committed suicide in the hotel. He put a pistol in his mouth and pulled the trigger. His obituary stated that he was suffering from depression and anxiety, and he left behind his wife and daughter. Okay. So from the time the hotel opened to the time he committed suicide, 2 kids came up missing. We have not been able to locate anything about any of the kids from the hotel. But we do know for a fact that Mr. Smith did, in fact, commit suicide in the hotel.
Do you know what room it was in?
No, we don't even know if it was in a regular room or in his room or at the front desk.
I know back then, with medicine and things going on, kids, they didn't live that long, too.
That's right.
So.
Catch a cold, die.
Yeah.
Catch a flu, die. Fall in the lake, drown, die.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of kids, and then also because so many kids died, they're in a whole lot. They'd take them out back and bury them in a family plot, and that'd be the end of it. So yeah, so that doesn't surprise us. We can't find anything on it. At a later date, an island resident who had a drinking problem had come in off of the Arrow, one of the steamships, and he came into the Roundhouse and had a drink, and then he went upstairs and went into a room and committed suicide. Same thing, put a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger.
Wow.
Again, unfortunately, we don't have a room number.
Yeah.
And then a third death that we know that happened in the hotel was a female death. She was coming down the steps and she got her foot caught in the hoop of her hoop skirt and tripped and fell down the steps, breaking her neck and dying in the lobby.
Was this recent? Or?
No, these are all turn of the century.
Okay.
So, yep, all older. We don't have anything new documented as far as any relatively recent deaths.
So there is history.
Yes, there is. This isn't part of that.
No.
We're actually associated with a lot of different businesses here.
Okay.
So they're employees of one of the other businesses that the hotel owns.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
What's probably the craziest story that's ever happened that came out of here?
Since I've been here,
or a few.
Yeah.
And definitely tell us about the picture again, because I don't know if that we got
so
that.
I don't really know that the picture was any significance other than the fact that it's a little girl in a dress, and like I said, if you walk around, her eyes follow you.
And what room was that in?
It was in room 17.
Okay.
And in room 17, you used to get a lot of complaints of people waking up in the middle of the night and there'd be 2 people there'd be a person standing between the 2 beds. And when the lights would turn on, the person would be gone. And we kind of assumed that they were seeing a reflection of the picture in a window. But since then, I've had a few paranormal groups come in, and when I talk to them about it, their suggestion is that maybe somebody liked the picture and, paranormal activity liked the picture and was standing there looking at it at night. I don't know. But
and then the picture disappeared a few times?
Yeah, well, the hotel guests would take it off the wall and put it under the bed or hide it in the closet just because they didn't like it.
They didn't like looking at it.
Yeah, they didn't like the eyes following it around. I'm going to have to get up here in a minute and so. Hi! Another girl from another business.
Okay.
The stories are actually in that book.
Oh, cool.
Like I said, Park Hotel is chapter 1. And the book's kind of neat because it also talks about the history of the buildings and whatnot. It's not just a paranormal type book.
So tell us about the history of this building as far as you know.
As far as I know, it was built in 1873 as the Duchess Park Hotel. It's operated every year since then as the Park Hotel in one fashion or another. Different owners have added their name to the name. It was Grunke's Park Hotel for a while. Good night. It's been named the Park Hotel for probably the last 50 years that I'm aware of. So it was built as a hotel. When it was built, the island was a stopover for steamships, and basically steamships would load up in Buffalo, New York, Erie, PA, 1,000 passengers, and they would come to PutInBay and unload, and then you would spend the day at PutInBay, or maybe a night or two at PutInBay, and then you would get on another steamer to finish your destination to Detroit or Toledo or Canada, wherever you were headed from here. So that's really how PutInBay got to start. When this hotel was built, it was the smallest hotel on the island, which is 25 rooms. That was just a hotel. A lot of the hotels would have 100 or 200 rooms, and actually at that period of time, the Victory Hotel was the largest hotel in the world. It was the largest wood frame structure in the world, and it stood on the island.
Okay.
It was the first hotel lit with lights, first hotel with a heated swimming pool, first hotel that both the man and the lady could swim in the swimming pool at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So the island was hopping back then, but the Park Hotel was a small one. At 145 years old this year, it is the oldest business on the island. It's obviously the oldest hotel then. So it has always been owned in conjunction with the Roundhouse. Where they were built at the same time, but they were not connected when they were originally built.
And the Roundhouse is a bar?
The bar, that's the round bar that sits next door.
So that door off to the side, I feel like it's the energy. It goes past it. That's going to be haunted too. Like I feel that for sure.
So last year we had a lady that worked for us. On the other side of that door is the Red Moon. It's a 1920s themed speakeasy that we opened 4 years ago. It's the original dining hall for the hotel.
Okay.
Last year we had a girl that worked in there as a bartender that was a medium, and she said that she would periodically see a lady in a gown walk through the bar, and she said it appeared that it was more of a nanny or a housekeeper than a guest or an owner or something by what she was wearing. And then kind of comical on that, the owner's wife, she was a big non-believer too, until she was standing in the kitchen one evening talking to this bartender, and when she turned to leave, she saw the same exact person standing next to her.
Oh,
and she was shaking so bad when she came to tell me about it, still from seeing it. It's like, so
cool.
She's all of a sudden has never doubted any story I've ever said. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I didn't know what's behind that. I just know I could feel it just coming out the door. It's like there's something in there.
When was PutInBay originally settled, and what's the significance of the name PutInBay and the Bass Islands?
Okay, so PutInBay was originally settled by a German immigrant named De Rivera. Personally, I don't know the year he came here in the 1800s, and his idea of settling it was as a goat farm. He purchased all of the Bass Islands, and he was going to raise goats on PutInBay, and then after they were grown, he would transport them back off the island for slaughter. And to do this, he hired his friends from Germany to come and work for him and help. So as his friends came and they built their houses on the island, they realized that the climate here was pretty much the same climate in Germany where they grew grapes for wines. So they would start growing their own vineyards and producing their own wine. And then they would call their friends and say, hey, come on out. We're on this island. We got this great wine. Come visit. So their friends would come visit. And that's how PutInBay kind of got its start. At one point, the nickname for the islands was the Wine Islands because there were so many wineries on all the islands. The only winery still in operation is Heinemann's Winery. It's an old German family that started it, and it's still in the same German family. Heinemann's still own it. There actually are 4-generation Heinemanns working it right now. And I believe they had just celebrated their 125th anniversary last year or this year.
It's so not with the cave.
Yes, with Crystal Cave. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, as far as the name PutInBay, again, there's nobody really knows for sure how it got it. There are 2 theories. The first one that everybody likes to claim is that when Oliver Hazard Perry was sailing his fleet, he told his fleet to put in the bay, so PutInBay. The other one is if you ever drop an anchor out in the bay, when you pull it up, it looks like it's got a bunch of pudding on it because of all the sediment at the bottom of the bay. So both of those are realistic. Nobody really knows the...
I heard something about the bay being shaped like an old pudding bag or something like that, too.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
so
never
no
heard
one
that.
really knows.
Yeah. I can't say that I've heard that one, but, like I said, it very well could be. We have a part of the bay is square, so it's called Squaw Harbor. Apparently that's how they pronounced it back then.
Okay.
So yeah, it's those are the only 2 theories I had ever heard as to what it was, why it was called that. So.
And why are the islands called the Bass Islands? Where does that come from?
I don't honestly know that either.
All right.
There's bass all around them.
It's interesting to think of how, like, even just a couple hundred years ago, so many things get kind of lost in history.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just makes you wonder, like, what's going to happen 200 years from now. People are going to be like,
oh, absolutely.
Oh, there was a great queen named Beyonce. And
yeah.
She ruled the world at the time. That kind of thing. So any other fun stories or any other history of the island you can give us or tell us about?
I could go on for hours about that, and I'm not going to.
We want to go visit the lighthouse tonight too.
Oh, okay, cool.
What's the story with the lighthouse?
So, several keepers have passed out there. One of them was drunk, fell off the cliff. Some of them just died from illnesses and age-related things. It was built by the Coast Guard as a lighthouse. It's currently owned by the Ohio State University.
That's the one on the south side that we see when we come in on the boat.
When you come in on Miller Dock. So,
yeah.
Yep. It no longer has a working light in it, but there is a new modern tower out there. Steel frame tower out there. The past residents who have lived in there all talk about paranormal activity in it. I unfortunately have never been lucky enough to live in a lighthouse as much as I'd like to. I did have a friend that lived in there once, and she used to talk about the problems she had, things missing, things, disappearing in the middle of the night. But I've never experienced anything out there. It is open periodically to the public. The grounds are always open, but the lighthouse itself, Ohio State University has posted dates that they give tours of the lighthouse and let people walk through it.
So what was the story with the guy? There was a guy that fell off the cliff, and his friend that owned the lighthouse went like crazy because of it, or?
Oh, I'm not real sure, to be honest with you. Yeah, I just know that Cotton Duggan, an old island name, he was a lighthouse keeper for a while, and his dad was a lighthouse keeper, and it's just a story that's been passed down about one of the lighthouse keepers that walked off the cliff one night, and it's not that high of a cliff.
Yeah, that's the cliff that we see on the way.
Yeah,
there's a lot of rocks and things down there.
So,
I imagine all it takes is falling down and getting knocked out and drowning or whatever.
Or just getting stuck down there and freezing to death. You know, if you can't get back up.
If you could say one place in the building that you feel is the most haunted, what would you name it? That you just feel weird every time you go to it.
You know, I'm a little disappointed because I don't ever feel weird anywhere I go in the hotel. I sit on the couch, and when it's slow in the winter when we're closed and I ask for them to come talk to me, I would love one of them to just do it.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, this year I actually was out here in the lobby to get paperwork one night about 11 o'clock at night. And as I was walking back into my apartment, I heard a little girl's voice say, "Are you going in there?" And by the time I realized what it was, I'd already gone in and closed the door, and I swing the door back open, and I'm like, yes, I am. Come talk to me, you know, and nothing. You know, it's like I hear stuff. I've seen a few things. I've experienced a few things, but I don't have that cold feeling or anything like that walking around the hotel. I wish I did.
One of the things with me and Joe is we're both clair-sensitive, so we can literally just walk down the street and be like, that place is haunted, that place is haunted, that place is haunted.
Yeah.
We actually just did an episode
So walk by T&J's.
Yeah, I've been trying to call them to see if we could get in there, and they never answer their phone.
Yeah,
but
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, we'll go check it
T&J's,
out.
and then even the Country House, so where you're going to go buy the book tomorrow.
Cool.
They talk about things. And it is kind of odd because a lot of the businesses on the main strip here have paranormal activity.
And probably because they have the most history.
But even like the Beer Barrel, so the Beer Barrel is a new building. The Colonial building burnt down that was there. Before the Colonial was there, there was the PutInBay House 1, the PutInBay House 2. They both burnt down. And there's paranormal activity there still. So a lot of people question why. You know, we can document people died in the hotel. Maybe that's it. Maybe not. People ask about the kids. Maybe kids died in the hotel. Maybe they didn't. But another kind of part of the theory, if you go back in history, so first of all, Native Americans were here. They used it as stepping stones to get from, Ohio to Canada. The Underground Railroad ran through the islands.
Oh, wow.
They transported people through the islands as stepping stones. There's a few old houses on the island that have hidden rooms in them. But during the War of 1812 and the Battle of Lake Erie specifically, a lot of people got injured on those ships. And Perry not only brought his fleet back here, he brought the British fleet back here. And I'm sure he set up an encampment on the island, medical facilities, whatever. They probably tried to save a lot of people's lives that they didn't, and there's no real record of what they did with them. Whether they just did mass burials, whether, so most of these structures in the downtown area that were built don't have basements, or if they do, they're very shallow basements.
Okay.
So this whole downtown strip may just be where body parts and bodies and whatever were just buried to get rid of them. And the kid theory for me is old naval ships, they used kids on them because they were short and they could run below deck without having to duck. So they were faster than adults. And they wouldn't hit their head and knock themselves out. So as guns were going off and they needed more gunpowder or more cannonballs, there would be kids running around.
That's crazy.
So kids would have been killed during the battle, and so just a theory I have.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty good theory. We have kind of a theory too that revolves around the fact that the energy that is present isn't necessarily. So, let's put it this way: the things you're seeing and the things that you're hearing, things you're experiencing, aren't necessarily the ghost of a dead person. That's like, oh, here I am, spooky me. Look at me, I'm a little kid.
Almost past, present,
but,
future.
But
I believe our energy will still be here.
I feel like if somebody's about to die, either suicide or they died of a heart attack, fell down the stairs. So those last fleeting moments of their brain, their life flashing before their eyes. Like, what are they going to think about? They're going to think about their wedding day, their wife, their kids, their family, their father, that kind of thing. So a lot of the images that are prevalent in hauntings are associated with children, or the woman in white, a man in a business suit, and I always kind of associated those with kind of like those dying thoughts, the life flashing before your eyes. So rather than an invisible dead person that you're experiencing, you're actually experiencing the memories of somebody that passed away. Does that sort of jive with you? Does that sort of make sense?
It's a theory, I guess.
And then there's always the theory of like just the energy being present itself is kind of recording time, like different times and things like that. So that when you're hearing stuff going on upstairs, it's not necessarily ghosts stomping around. It's just you're hearing things that would normally go on there at a different time. It's almost like you're getting a window, like a little vortex of, opening up into actual. You're actually experiencing time from a different era or whatever, or maybe even like a few hours ago or last week or who knows.
I just think there's different realms, and some of us could, tap into those, and every once in a while, kind of meet.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that the way we experience time is we experience linear time when we're conscious, and when we're dreaming and stuff, time really doesn't work the same way. Like, for instance, you have a dream that is in reality, like you could take a nap for 5 minutes and have a dream where you're like working in a factory or somewhere, and nowhere in that dream do you're like, I don't work in a factory, what the hell is this? Like, it's like you have this entire lifetime of memories just in those few seconds of your dream. And I always thought that, the way we experience time isn't truly how time works and how time moves, in the same way that the colors that we see aren't truly what those colors are to another, just to our eye it is, but not in nature.
It's all gray.
So it almost makes you wonder if this energy being present is just kind of warping our perception of time, kind of triggering whatever that mechanism in our brain that keeps us kind of grounded in our version of reality and kicks us out of it every once in a while. I always kind of equate it to driving through the countryside with your radio set to static. Eventually you're going to pick up something. And it might be, a full song, and it might be just, a couple of words here and there. But I feel like we're all kind of this. Some people are more receptors than others, but I feel like if we kind of open ourselves up to it, we can experience some pretty wild stuff if we really wanted to. That's why I'm sleeping in the craziest room today.
I'd like to figure out how to open those receptors.
We all have different theories. We just,
I find a lot of the people that are like me and Joe, they're almost always like a-religious, like atheist, agnostic, don't really have a religion. Almost always like right brain, real creative types, musicians, artists, that sort of thing. And they always have like some sort of OCD, ADD, something like that. So I feel like there's like a certain kind of brain chemistry that welcomes it. So that might have a lot to do with it too, because almost everyone I've ever met that can feel it has those three criteria. Huh. I feel like religion's a big part of it, because we kind of, especially if you became religious from a small age, it kind of, you put up these kind of roadblocks in your brain to like, the first thing you're taught is like, that stuff's bad, keep it away.
But also too, like, it kind of goes against it, like, 'cause it's even like with religion, it's like maybe it kind of almost proves that there is something kind of blocking it.
It can go either way. People always ask me, like, how do you not believe in religion if you experience all this stuff? And I'm like, well, if anything, experiencing all this stuff, I can't even understand what that is, so how can I understand anything else, It's kind of, it can kind of go both ways.
Religion's not a problem with me, because I'm not a religious person.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Well,
I have a sister that's very Catholic. I'm not.
Well, thank you very much for talking
to
us.
No problem. Absolutely.
It was really good. Will you be here tomorrow?
I will be around tomorrow. I've got some other things I'm dealing with tomorrow as well, so I'm not working the front desk, but I will be in and out and around.
Gotcha. If we have any crazy experiences, we'll definitely let you know, and we really appreciate the talk. Thank you very much, man.
Good talking to you.
Thanks. What do you want? You came at me, bro. Oh, you're in this hallway now. Oh, hey. How are you? What's your name? What you doing? There's some people talking in the room next door. Right in front of Joe's room, number 4 right now. Down in this hallway right across from his room where the little girls' voices are heard. Hello? It's pretty cool. A lot of vibes in here. Whew.
Well, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, he said that there's stuff with the doors closing all the time, like the doors.
Yes.
That just fucking happened. I watch YouTube. That just happened.
What? This door closed?
So I went in. I walked the whole place for YouTube, right? So I opened the door. Obviously, the door was unlocked. So I went into the room. I'm panning around the room. I'm telling the stories of what you guys felt earlier. So then I went to leave. Sorry. Then I went to leave, and the door was locked.
Oh.
And I had to unlock it. I had to find.
Well, these doors lock automatically when they close all the way, so that could be.
How did they do that?
Well, it didn't close all the way the first time.
Dude, I'm breathing in the static in here. It's crazy. Dude, this room's like fucked up. Dude, I'm feeling crazy in this room. Like the whole place is fucked up. Oh yeah.
I didn't like the landing. That's right.
Yeah, I look forward to sleeping in this room. It's crazy in here. I want to meet the ghost kitty cat.
Get out of the door. So I had to unlock the door.
I don't know.
It smells weird, right?
I mean, it's an old hotel, so.
It smells like an old building to me.
All right.
We've been to an abandoned building like that.
So we are going to go eat some food, and then I guess we'll go check out the lighthouse, and then we'll come back and do some more stuff here at the hotel. We'll go check out the smokehouse place next door.
Well, good morning, listeners. We're back to talk about any experiences last night after we returned from dinner. Good chicken, right, guys?
It was
good chicken.
Terrific chicken.
So before we head out, we wanted to mic up and kind of talk about any experiences we may have had.
Who the fuck is Mike?
Too tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep.
I know. The wild cat
I'll kick it off, I guess.
From Dave's room.
Yeah,
I
didn't experience anything in the room.
As soon as I walked into my room to go to sleep, there was a very heavy presence in my room, and I was like, "Hey, I'm really tired. So if you need to say anything or do anything, like, do it now, because I'm gonna be out like a light."
Did you sleep on your stomach or your back?
I slept on my back.
Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, I'm really gonna be like just out, down and out. So like, if you have anything to say or anything to do, like, do it now, because I really need to sleep.
But you did feel it in your room.
Yeah.
What, did it feel good? Did it feel bad?
It was just kind of like,
Was it located in any particular part of the room?
kind of
Explain
in the
it.
corner,
Just kind of watching you.
the far corner of the room.
That's
It's sort
creepy.
of like the standard presence you feel in a haunted place. Like, it was definitely like a mortis energy that was there on top. It was in the room. It was definitely present. But and I specifically asked it to do something. I'm like, hey, go ahead and go nuts, do something. Come on.
Yeah.
Because I gotta go to
That's
sleep.
definitely something I don't do before I go to sleep.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Dave.
I
Dave
really
don't care.
truly want to experience something. legitimately in my face. Everything's been like everything I have experienced outside of like actually feeling stuff it's always so subtle. It's always like
makes you second
That's the thing.
guess.
I mean, I want to feel it, but it's like, all right, give it your best shot. Fucking do whatever you can, man.
The thing is, like, I've never actually seen anything move. Like I've never actually physically seen anything move. I've never definitively had something like touch me. Like
yeah.
You know, and it's like I'm so sensitive to this stuff. Like I feel like I should be experiencing this stuff, but it really makes me doubt. Is like,
I thought you got touched a couple times, or no? Not
really.
enough, I guess.
Not to a point where I can definitively say.
Like, not even that Red Line pub thing.
What's that?
Were you at the Red Line thing when that happened? Didn't something happen there a long time ago?
Oh, the Red Lion.
Oh yeah,
no, the other Red Lion.
Red Lion pub,
ago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Didn't bottles fly or something?
Yeah, bottles flipped off the bar.
Yeah. Don't you see that?
I don't think I saw that.
No, we were doing a show there.
Maybe your memory
people
is
came up and told us it was happening.
Okay,
I think like
as we were doing our show.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like it's always like this secondhand, out of the corner of your eye. Maybe something happened. Like it would be really nice to one day just see right in front of my face, like. Because you know how I get, like, I'm always, like, trying to be logical about everything. You know, I'm totally Mr. Spock and everything, you know, it's because the wind blew this way and that's why we heard that sound or, like, you know, whatever it is. And it would be nice to, like, just straight up see something that I can't deny was paranormal.
I think we would all love to see that for sure.
And the thing is that,
but that's
like,
probably why we hardly
like
ever see it because we feel it. You
well,
know,
because I feel like that's such a rare experience for it to actually manifest itself.
It's almost like a Hollywood
in that
thing
way.
too, though. You know?
Yeah, and like you know, you hear other people's accounts of it and stuff. But even when you hear other people's accounts, it's like I believe that you believe you saw that, but like you know, it could have been you were sleep deprived. It could have been you were drinking. It could have been like acid flashback. Who the fuck knows? And for me, it's just like I've pretty much everything I've ever seen or experienced has been something that is like I probably experienced something, but it could have been something else. You know, like,
so you kind of discount it.
Yeah, it's like there's no like even with what I consider to be my most intense experience was the stranger, the visitor at my bed.
Yeah. We talked about that on the show, right?
Yeah.
With the toothbrush and all that?
No.
No, I think Joe's right. Did something happen in your bathroom?
Yeah, with
same
your toothbrush.
Time?
That was something else. No, this was
that same time with it.
Yeah, but I'm not even like the toothbrush. I don't even.
No, but it was that same incident. Like
it was
same day.
It was
like
something. I was having a dream that we were in a haunted place. You and the three of us, Jay, Joe, me, were in a haunted, kind of like a very sort of blank, sort of bland condo or apartment. We were investigating that was haunted. We were in there by ourselves. I didn't actually see Jay in the dream, but I knew he was present in the dream, and it reminded me of my grandparents' condo. And Joe was near me, and I kept feeling something picking at my shirt. Like a little kid, like kind of like mama, you know, like pulling on your shirt. And every time I turn around, Joe would be nearby, and I'd be like, "Stop it!" And he'd be like, "I'm not doing anything. I didn't do anything." And then I turned the corner to go into this like dining area, or like a sitting room or whatever, and I get overcome with the energy, and I kind of like collapse to the floor. And next thing I know, I wake up and I'm laying in a bed. And what I had assumed happened was I passed out, and you guys had set me in a bed in the same apartment that we're investigating. My guess is we were in there alone investigating overnight. And when I open my eyes, there's a figure standing at the end of my bed. About 5'2" or 5'3" figure. I could see it very clearly. It was like, and it wasn't like a 3-dimensional figure. It was like a black, like almost like a black cardboard cutout. Just standing there, just like the outline of shadow of a person. But it was kind of wavering a little bit back and forth and sort of like tilting its head back and forth, looking at me. And I was on the right side of my bed. It was on the left side of my bed. And I specifically remember
immediately trying to talk to it, because in my mind it was like, okay, I'm fucking terrified right now, but this is my Bigfoot moment. This is what everyone talks about. This is the once-in-a-lifetime experience of a figure standing at your bed. This is like a classic...
Did you talk to it telepathically?
Classic ghost story. But no, I tried to talk to it, and I'm like...
in your mind?
No, I'm just openly trying to like communicate with it. Who are you? What do you want? But I can't get the words out.
Wow.
And part of me in my brain, I'm like, if I can just talk, if I can make a sound, I can alert Jay and Joe wherever they're at, and they can come and see this thing that I'm seeing before it goes away. Because I was partially trying to communicate with it, but also partially trying to alert you guys wherever you were in the apartment. And I'm trying to lift up my foot and touch it, like trying to touch it with my foot. Kind of like if you had like a dog or a cat at the end of the bed and you just kind of wanted to like check if they were there.
Yeah.
And just like touch them with your foot. And I'm trying to touch it to see if it has like a physical form or whatever. And I can't move my leg. I can't talk. And then I realize that I am not in a dream, that I am not in some random apartment, whatever that we're investigating, but I'm in my own bed in my own house. And I remember this clearly. It was the evening of September 10th, 2016. And I close my eyes, open them back up, and the figure turns into a shadow on the wall.
Wow. Did you see it like morph to the shadow, go to the wall?
No, it just like I blinked and it was gone, and it was a shadow on the wall. And I snapped awake, and I was like, and at that moment I realized I was having sleep paralysis, and that figure I was experiencing was a symptom of my sleep paralysis,
right?
Because I was still in my REM sleep mode, but my eyes were open, so I was like couldn't move, and so that's what was happening.
Yeah, I would love to cover sleep paralysis one day.
But the thing is that the dream was real. The dream was real before the figure arrived. So the dream led me into this sleep paralysis episode that was in context, if that makes sense. And then at the same time, as soon as I snapped awake, Laura, the girlfriend I had at the time, was next to me in bed. In my dream, she wasn't there. But when I jumped up and snapped awake, I was like, and Laura kind of stirred awake, and she's like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, was I just talking? Did you hear me talking? She's like, "No." I'm like, I wasn't trying to talk. I wasn't like moving around or anything, because I was trying to determine if I was actually like still dreaming when I was doing that, or if it was actually something I was doing. And she's like, "No, I don't think so." And she went back to sleep. It was like 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I'm not going to get into it. I've had so many things like that happen to me.
Yeah, but
the weird thing is when you actually feel it leave your body. That's
but listeners have to. This did not happen at the Park Hotel.
No. Right. But this is the thing: is like, then when I got up to go to the bathroom, there was something in my house. Like I could feel an energy in my place, like I feel in a haunted place.
Wow.
And the thing is that I
know story.
And he wants to taunt this shit.
I'm taking a leak in my own bathroom, and the thing is in the bathroom with me. I could feel it around me, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, you can't do that while I'm sleeping. Like, you can't come to me while I'm sleeping, because you're going to blow a gasket in my brain, and I'm going to have a heart attack or a stroke, and you're going to kill me. So, like, if you have something to say to me or talk to me or whatever you want from me, like, come to me when I'm awake and conscious, and I'll try to communicate with you or whatever." And I tried, like, this was shortly after we had the experience at Maureen's house where we were communicating with her grandmother. And I was trying...
Listen to a past episode,
so
folks.
for the next couple...
It's covered in another episode.
The next couple of days, it was hanging around, and I was trying to communicate with it, doing the alphabet game. Let me know what the first initial of your name is, A, B, C, D.
Yeah, these things do follow you.
It never really... I wasn't able to really get anything from it. Now, I know my landlord's sister died in the house, and so I was trying to describe to him what I experienced to see if the description of the person that I saw or what I felt I felt it was like a teenage boy or maybe a young girl. And I was trying to explain to him to see if he would be like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds like my sister," but no.
I didn't want to like flat out ask him. I was like, "Your dead sister trying to get," you know, like.
But to get back to the Park Hotel,
but that was
a great story.
That was one of the most intense experiences I've ever had. That's including our first experience when a little kid left,
the little
at us
kid
in the
left,
back of an empty room
Morrisland Music
at the
Room.
Morrisland Music Room, which to this day, in that moment I was terrified. You were terrified.
Oh,
we were
yes.
Crying like little girls.
Yes, it was awful.
To this day, I still think maybe it was Mike in the office moving on his desk chair and the wheels squealing or something like that.
I don't know.
And
but
that's the thing.
Again,
and that's the thing. Like that's the
we're getting
logic
off
part of
track.
my brain, always trying to like wrap around it. But with this specific episode of the thing standing at the end of my bed, is I know that I was having a sleep paralysis episode, but I also know that there was something in my house that was there physically. Was my sleep paralysis caused by this energy?
Right.
And if it was caused by that energy, was that it manifesting itself to me within my sleep paralysis? Like, so it gets
taking your energy to make itself.
It's
more
the
present.
inception of sleeping,
and it takes this whole other like
levels.
it's like this whole other level of like, because I know sleep paralysis. Whatever you experience in sleep paralysis is bullshit. It's your mind fucking with you because you're having a terrifying experience, so it fills in all this stuff. I think 95%.
It's okay. We're not covering the
but I
science
truly
behind
believe,
sleep paralysis.
Wow, this Park Hotel looks really nice.
I truly believe that 95% of like a poltergeist was holding me down, or like aliens were standing around my bed.
Yes.
Type experiences are all sleep paralysis.
Could
related.
be. I do want to pause here real quick and let the listeners know we are recording. We're back outside the hotel on the porch. Rooms are so small in these classic bed and breakfast places. It's hard to set up the five of us and the equipment, so we're outside. Excuse any background noise.
And I just wanted to get out and have a drink.
Yeah. Joe, it's like, what is it, 7:30 in the morning?
I don't care.
Nice. I love the way. I love the way. I love the way you live. That's right. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah. But no experiences other than that feeling in the room here.
Yeah, like there was definitely something there, and the thing that sucks is like the problem with these trips is that we are out all day and all night, and we're recording until 1 or 2 in the morning, and we're running around all day, going to all these different locations and stuff.
Yeah,
and it takes a toll on you.
It really does.
And by the time we get back to the hotel, I'm just like, I just want to sleep, you know?
Yeah.
And I that's why I feel like I needed to talk to it before I went to sleep, to just be like, listen, if you're going to do something, do it now, because I'm going to be zonked out like a coma.
Well, that's not the thing. I mean, not just from going out and actually just doing what we're doing, but actually feeling it. It drains all the energy out of you.
Coming into contact with the stuff.
Oh my God.
After we go to some of these places and we're just having these intense sensations and stuff, like, it messes me up for a few days. Like, it's kind of like when we record until 3 in the morning.
Oh.
I just have to like sleep and like recover for a day before I'm.
Yeah, but dude, it's almost worse. Like, I'm just my whole body's just shot. My brain's like, and
Joe, we can segue. We can segue to you. You didn't want to sleep in the original room.
Yeah, fuck
you were
that,
booked in,
man.
correct?
Okay,
Why? Let us know.
Right away, I go in the room and I'm like, ugh. First and foremost, when we did our little walkthrough, Dave's room, that was the most haunted. Like, I mean, energy-wise, like
what did you feel?
Joe, this is your problem. Is you're actually afraid of this stuff. You're afraid to experience.
I hate that it latches on to me.
But this is the thing. For me, I know it can't hurt me.
Yeah, but
I know it can't affect me in a, I know it can't kill me. I know it can't.
I don't know.
It can't hurt me.
I think it gets you sick.
But
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, but when you take it in, you're like, I don't care, and you feel it. You see how fucking sick and tired you get. I kind of push it off a little bit.
But it's this way. A really hot girl wants to make out with you and have sex with you, right? But she's getting over a cold. And you're like, well, I'll probably get a cold, but fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of that same situation. Like, you're like, I know there might be a consequence here, but it's worth it. It's worth it for the experience.
It's a nutty analogy, but I think you made your point.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like too, like building like a tolerance to it too.
Did you experience anything then?
Okay,
because we shared a room ultimately.
Yes,
we had the two.
Okay, so Dave's room. I mean,
you left your original room.
Yeah, but Dave's room, feeling the energy in there, it was like holy shit. It was probably the hauntedest player for energy wise.
That room was definitely the most haunted of the
whoa,
three.
Wow! But it wasn't a bad feeling. It wasn't a bad feeling at all.
Your room was supposed to be the most haunted that he put us in.
The one that I wound up sleeping in.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't experience anything.
So
nothing.
And I'm like, holy shit!
14
like,
was your room, right?
If Dave's room's
Yes,
like
14.
this, and that was like one of the first ones that we went in. I'm like, I can't imagine what the other ones are going to be like.
13
but it was not a bad room. His was not a bad energy.
My
it was
room
just
was
a strong energy.
My room was supposed to have a ghost cat in it.
Yes.
And I wanted to experience a ghost cat because my cat just died, and I'm sad. And
So
I wanted
my
to
room,
experience a ghost cat snuggling up to me. And
my room, I go in there. Supposedly there's some little kids that walk around the halls, and sometimes they hear like crying or whatever. I walk in, all of a sudden, the floor looks completely different than it's just a wood floor. The bed looks like a hospital bed. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like the bed was an actual hospital bed, an old hospital bed.
It wasn't a hospital bed.
Dude,
it just
totally
it just had like a railing thing on it.
I
that made
asked
it
the
look
guy,
like a
and
hospital
he said, yeah, they used it for. It was like a medical room. The guy said it was made for. He's like,
well, the
yeah,
bed
like
maybe, but I
yeah.
don't think the room was.
No. The bed, the frame of the bed, or the metal frame bed was a hospital bed.
It was like
from
the
1800s.
Think anyone ever died on that thing?
I don't know, but
I don't think it was that old. It was like a bunk type, like it was like almost like a military style bed frame.
Yeah, listeners could go to YouTube, Supernatural Occurrence Studies on YouTube. I did roll video, did a walkthrough, so they could see these.
Yeah,
beds
maybe it
in the
was
room.
actually from the early 1900s.
My room,
though.
One of the things that was supposed to happen in my room is things get knocked off the counter.
Right.
So I specifically left my shaving cream out on the counter to see if it would get knocked off, and it didn't move. Nothing happened.
Okay.
But see, like, so I go in this room, and I just had like a weird, like just like an eerie, like just bad feeling. Like it was like a gloomy feel, like a sickness and a sadness in there, and I'm just like, ugh. And
that's why you wanted to switch?
I just did not like it. Yeah, and I actually felt like almost like just kids and a sadness and sick, and it was just like a morbid, like I didn't like that feel in there.
Wow.
And then
that's interesting.
Yeah, since they were together, we switched, and I slept in Jay's room.
We did, yeah. The two
not in the same bed.
The two that sleep with the
Joe, are you
hats over their eyes.
Are you down
stayed
with
in the same room
sometimes?
Oh,
but that's another thing. There's so many different energies, and like it's like the good energies, I don't care. But when it's like bad, and I could feel it, like I don't know. I kind of push away from it a little bit.
There's a mix of positive and negative floating around the park.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
Something you touched on with the kids, the footsteps and things like that. Lexi actually had an experience overnight. Do you want to tell us? You were kind of telling me earlier this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't sleep too well?
No, I did not.
Why?
Because I felt the same thing Joe was feeling, like that feeling of like gloom and like children and sickness, and like throughout the night I heard like little pitter patters, like either in the hallway or in the room. But there was definitely someone standing like right next to me on my side of the bed, like almost the entire night. And someone in the chair in the corner sitting, like, in the corner.
Did you see anything, or was it
I just
feeling?
felt it.
Male,
like,
female, do you know?
It was a little kid. I think it was a male.
Oh, a little boy.
A little boy. There was two, though. There was two children in there.
Oscar.
Or maybe it was just one, like, jumping energy.
Oh,
but
okay, maybe.
It was really strong.
Were you scared at all?
Yeah, I was. But I was feeling its pain, too. It was really sad.
Wow. The little kid ghosts creep me out.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you and Oscar shared a room.
Yeah.
Oscar, did you?
No, I felt fine. Slept great.
Sleeping great. Oh, you know what? While we were recording YouTube, while we were rolling for YouTube.
Oh, you mean that? I thought you meant during the night.
No, you're right. No, you're right, though. But something did actually happen to you at the hotel.
Yeah, it was very strange. A strange sensation. All I got was in this little hallway past our room, like right past our room. Like 3 doors down, maybe, there's a little hallway that leads to just one room, and then there's a window, and that's the end of it.
Yes.
And it's like a little vase.
Yeah,
and
I got that on video.
Little table.
Yep.
Just for people who are watching the clip, or they'll know what I'm referencing to. That's the only part I felt anything. And I marked that as a first, maybe the only thing I'll feel this entire trip. And that is a weird little pressure or a little pain in my right knee. And it was
in that area of
just
the
in
hotel.
Just in the area, just there. Walking away, went away. I went back there hours later. It was later in the night, probably after a few cigarettes or whatever. And I felt pressure, but not the same, not as acute. So it's either
same
like
leg,
I got used
same knee?
same leg, same knee.
Huh.
And that's it.
Wow.
Probably means you're going to die of knee cancer.
I hope so.
Why am I the only one? Even
Nancy.
Oscar experienced something. He never experiences anything. I didn't experience shit at this hotel, man.
And you slept through the fight too.
Oh, the
Oh, my
fight.
God.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who's going to tell this story?
Pretty wild.
Who's going to tell the
Joe and I
domestic
were talking
dispute story?
to the Bulgarian
Like that's Dave Will.
immigrant.
It's going to be Dave. Ding, ding.
We were talking to the Bulgarian immigrant girls
We need to get a bell.
downstairs that work there the night shift. It's very weird. These islands have Bulgarian immigrants that come here for the summer and work. I've never heard of it.
We
but,
covered that in the T&J
Yeah.
Smokehouse episode.
So we were interviewing these Bulgarian girls mostly to get their opinions from their cultural perspective on the paranormal and stuff. Seeing, how things differ. One of the most interesting things they were saying was that in their culture, they look at ghosts and spirits as your family members watching over you, guardian angel type things. They don't have negative connotations for.
Got it.
So
When
that
we
was
cover Bulgarian folklore on this episode, we'll tear it up. But for now, what happened with the domestic dispute, you wandering bastard?
Well, I'm just explaining why we were talking to them.
Tell us about sleep paralysis.
We were in the middle of
He
a
was showing them American customs too.
We were in the middle of a
But we'll
conversation.
get into that another time.
And then we hear this big thumping noise up the stairs. And she's like, "Did you hear that?" And I thought that there was something paranormal happening.
Oh,
And
so
I
all of a sudden,
I got
because this
all
was
excited.
late. This was late, right? Because I was already
Yeah.
in bed sleeping, man.
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, dead silence, just us talking downstairs.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, "What's going on?" And she goes running upstairs.
You
You
let the girl run upstairs
Well, no,
by
she-
yourself.
Oh yeah,
No, she went to
Dude,
go.
he hid behind the couch and she ran up.
No, she went to go look upstairs or whatever, and so apparently there was right at the top of the stairs there, room 8, I think it was, on our floor. There was some Chad bro dude guy, and
She runs back down. She's like,
and his
"Oh my God,
girlfriend.
this guy's hitting this woman upstairs. I think I gotta call the guy." And then
So she knocks on the door, and Phil, who was sleeping, comes
Oh, the
up.
interview.
Yeah, he storms up the stairs, and he's just like.
He's kind of a big guy too.
Yeah,
He's not a
he
little
was like,
guy.
"You need to open the door."
Big
and
guy.
the guy's like, "Why I gotta open the door? You need to open the door. Well, why I gotta open the?" The girl comes out and she's all crying and stuff. I was like, "Is he?" No. I literally fell over a chair. I literally fell over a chair.
Drunk.
Yeah, but then
I think I've seen her.
The guy starts screaming at Phil. You can't come in my room, and they're kind of like a pushing match.
Feels like you want to bet.
And
And she's like,
Cops
"No.
came.
I literally fell over a chair. I literally fell over
I'm
a
gonna
chair."
throw
then
something
she starts
at it.
crying, and
How
she's
many
like,
times did you
"Take
say that,
me,
Oscar?
take me to the cops.
She did
Take me to
not.
jail. It's my fault."
She did
And
not.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God!
And then a cop showed up, and he was like, "What? You again? I told you, man!" Because he had gotten arrested
So
earlier
Chad
in the
bro
night.
dude had gotten
Yeah.
in trouble already. Listeners, domestic violence is a terrible thing. If you are in a domestic situation, make sure and reach out to a loved one or call the authorities and get help.
And
It's not
certainly-
okay.
And certainly don't fucking say, I literally fell over a chair. I literally fell over a chair. Don't say that over and over again.
Oh, did he say it again? I tuned
Yes,
him
he
out.
did.
Okay, I tuned him out. Yeah, what a crazy thing. I didn't hear anything. They must have been knocked the hell out.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a number if you guys need for any domestic violence.
Yeah,
So,
no, plug
all right,
it.
1-847-455-2625.
Are you playing a joke on us?
There it is.
Why'd you say it like that?
Oh, because it must have been spelled out.
Oh.
he was
Yeah,
doing
you'll
the
get it.
numbers.
Okay, got it.
No,
okay.
terrible thing. We're making fun that she was drunk and acting like an idiot. It is a horrible thing. Reach out and get help. So I guess is that it for Park?
I think so. Yeah.
Park Hotel? Could we call this one a close?
I think
It was a good interview. Oh, one thing to mention. Dave Black, what happened with the audio? for this episode?
Oh boy!
Can we please talk about that?
So apparently,
ghosts.
Watch it sound amazing.
Right,
apparently,
right.
Watch it sounds amazing.
somewhere along the line, I must have had my thumb pressed against on the side of the Tascam.
Well, did he say that he must have?
He's admitting fault.
On the side of the Tascam, there is a button to either increase or decrease the sensitivity of the mic, and I had it turned all the way down to 0 somehow. I don't know how I did that or when I did that or when it happened, but I never thought to check it. I've never even touched the levels on it before, and that was all the way down to 0 when we did all the interviews, all the walkthroughs, everything that we did. And I apologize, but hopefully all of that will be able to be corrected and rectified in post.
Yeah, in post. Oscar is pretty confident he could save the audio.
My favorite line.
We don't even know what it's going to sound like yet, right? Because we're still recording the outro. But if there's
right, you showed me a little bit of it, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
not
you were
great so
able.
far.
I mean,
It's
you
not
looked
good
at it
stuff.
last night, and you were able to boost it and
But if you
salvage
hear
it, right?
real large spikes or just kind of some low parts, drops,
Well, I'm gonna get rid of the spikes probably.
it
But yes,
was a. We apologize.
my favorite, like, little inside baseball, little fun thing. Every film project I've ever been to, the favorite line to say is, "We'll fix it in post," because no one wants to hear that.
Yeah.
It's like it's the
Right,
worst
'cause
line.
it's more work for you, right?
Well, it's more work for the editor and all.
Well, 'cause most
the
people-
idea is not to have anything to fix in post, is to do post. And that's
Most
it.
people
Yeah.
would prefer to fix it in Kellogg's.
Oh.
It's a much higher quality.
Wow.
cereal.
Wow.
But you know what, though? It sucks. We apologize to listeners, but sometimes when you take this stuff on the road and you have all this equipment and you're in the moment, things are happening, your interview's ready to roll, shit happens.
And we're all scatterbrained assholes that have 1,000 other things going on.
Yeah, but
in our
people
lives.
love
So
us.
the showers kind of sucked in there too, you know.
Oh, the bathroom. Oh, the bathrooms. My God. So, of
I
course,
didn't even take a shower there.
I know, I can tell.
Oh man.
I can tell. Well, we still have to go get our bags, so maybe you can finally take a shower, because I'm not going to be in a car with your ass. But I
didn't
go
either.
real early in the morning. I go to do my business, right? But I go.
Oh, no, wait. I
go
did take
boom.
a shower. I took a shower in the upstairs bathroom.
Very good. So I'm like, it's early, man. No one is going to be up.
That's when everyone.
No one's gonna be
everyone
up.
had that same thought.
Everyone had that same thought. Some guy comes. There's like, what was there, 3 stalls up there? Go back and count it. But guy comes in. You know, I choose an end. He's got to come to the stall right next to me. Couldn't go to the other one
Did you-
and leave a space in between us. Had to come right next to me.
Oscar, did you ever play that video game? Which stall you pick when you go pee?
No.
Dude, it's like a series of like 10 things. So, all right, each frame's a bathroom, and you have to. So, if somebody's standing at a stall, which one you pick, which stall you stand to.
It's as far
a
away as
test.
possible.
If it's the gay or not, you know.
Oh, I see.
And I always pass. I'm not going to say yes
I
or
mean,
no.
even if you didn't pass, Joe, I would still
I
love
don't
you.
even know what the hell you're talking about.
Me and Will used to play with my friend all the
I'm
time.
sorry for everyone.
That is a. Now we're throwing breakfast. All right, we should bring it to a close. We got to catch a ferry. We got to get to the ferry. Get off.
See, Oscar can never have a serious conversation around here. All right, so I'll hop on. I'll hop on Dave's back first.
We got to get the car onto a boat to get off this island.
We gotta hop on Dave. Wait, what?
To go back to mainland to jump on another boat.
I didn't think of it. He gave me a look.
I didn't say nothing. You know that's
my
bullshit.
God.
Oscar. So
Oscar,
childish.
take us to the next stop, please.
For God's sake.
Dude, it looks like a piercing or a nipple ring or something.
Looks like a
CR.
What's a CR?
A cock ring, eh?
Oh, God damn it. Why do I ask? Why do I ask anything?
Come on,
know better.
dude, are you
should
kidding
know
me?
better.
You don't know what a CR is.
Okay,
All right.
can we?
You walked right into that one.
Guys,
Yes, I
can
did.
we talk on the radio?
Yes.
sounds with their mouth?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I like making mouth sounds.
I know. I like the way it. I like the way that sounds.
All right, ready?
You're gonna like the way that
Make
sounds.
mouth
I
sounds.
guarantee it.
Jake.
All right, 5. Wait, do we all know what we're doing?
What,
No.
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
We don't.
Fuck
Hotel
me.
intro? What are we doing right
Yeah,
now?
just run with it. Just run with it.
Just run with it.
Did you guys know that you can make your own flashlight by just taking a regular old flashlight, taking out the batteries, and filling it with ground beef?
Pigskin?
It might have been thought of. Someone might have done it.
You know, back in the 80s, I'll tell you, if you had a problem with a bully, right, you would challenge them to an extreme sporting competition. That's how we solved all our problems in the 80s. I don't know if you remember that.
Breakdancing,
Oh, yeah.
skateboarding.
Exactly. So Jason Dane, he used to be a real jerk to me. Bullied me all the time. Lived right around the corner. I couldn't get away from him. And I said, you know what? One of these days, Jason, I am sick of this. I have had enough. I challenge you to a windsurfing competition. And you know what? Never bothered me again. Because he died in a horrible windsurfing accident. Can you go out there and just be like, big, mama, bigo, la 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 la. Just make different animal sounds and stuff, so it sounds like a different time.
Minion cricket.
Boop 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 boop. Shabba boo, shabba boo, rabbity beep, rabbity boop 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 beep, rabbit, rabbit.
If Oscar had,
Dude, I want to paint fucking Dave yellow.
if Oscar had a
Right?
machine,
I don't know, like a puppet.
right? He had a machine
Like a
sitting
Muppet
on the middle
or
of the
something.
table here,
Yeah,
and
Like
all
orange.
around the machine. Maybe there's a light in the middle,
kind of like a Simon.
kind of like a Simon,
Yeah.
exactly, sitting here in the middle of the table.
Is that on any
And
kind of pedestal? Is it raised or is it just a flat?
it's
or-
kind of bulbous.
okay,
kind
so
of-
kind of like a disco light sort of thing.
What the hell does
Yes.
bulbous mean? Kind of like
kinda
Dave's
like-
ass? It's like
Yeah,
kind of like
this,
pleasantly plump.
All right, I get it.
And it had different colors around the edge, and if you pressed each color, it would make a sound.
Right.
What sound would it make if I pressed the green button?
Oh, that would be. Of course.
Cool. Red?
Yeah.
Red.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Ew. Oh.
It's a cool machine.
I'll just-
We also have those mounted in our car. Guys, sweet. Dave.
Yes, I remember.
What if you flip the switch underneath the steering wheel?
It just changes the tilt on your wheel.
It's good.
You aim too high, Icarus. You flew too high on that one.
It's very practical.
It is. No, it's good. It's money well spent. Blue? I love those machines. They're the best. They are the best.
Yeah.
Red and blue.
Oh.
Because you can combine the colors, too.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Red and blue makes purple, though. What's purple do?
There is no purple
That's,
button.
what are you talking about?
Fuck you guys. Next time you ask me to say that sound, I'm not saying it.
Why can't I play?
What the fuck? That's it.
All right. Okay.
Are we ready? Fuck you. It's okay.
Like,
All right, guys, can we record?
oh, now you want to record.
I want to record. I want to record.
Orange.
Go. I give a go back it deep.
Is it because I'm brown?
Pink.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
10. 9.
30. 29.
3. 2. What is it with you guys and sounding exactly?
Or you could take the mic.
Can someone just tell me?
You guys is too many people.
You guys is.
Because you're including me in
Is that
that.
with a Z or an S?
Yeah, I mean, I am. But it's true. So, what's going on with this?
What's going on with sounding?
Yeah, with sounding.
It's the new norm, man.
Sounding's the new black.
It's the new dope shit.
It definitely sounds like it.
Dope.
Get it? Do you get
Dope. Oh, because you work sounding into it.
it? Yes, I did.
You're clever as
that
fuck.
sounds.
You know, I
love-
try.
I like how we pretend to like each other when we're on the mics.
Oh, I know. This is like
And then when we're off the
makes you
mics,
makes
I don't
you
even
really
wanna talk to
feel
you.
how fake it all is, right? Hollywood, radio, and
Yeah.
it's all fake. It's all fake news.